We were the Class 2A state champions in football when I was a senior, so we have that one on you guys. No, my kids did come to Algona, so Algona is my home. So, question for you. I see some cross-country runners in here. What is the longest distance you have ever ran without stopping? Somebody.
5 miles maybe.
Say 8.3. 6.3. Back table. 8. Wow. Why did you do that? Huh? Who did? Oh, she made you. Okay. So biblically speaking, the Bible talks in a lot of places about life kind of being like a race, right? First thought when you think of a race, what do you think of?
Finish line.
Okay, but yes. What else? Trying to beat other people.
Training.
Huh?
The training.
Training.
Sweating.
Yeah. Sweating. Okay, so do you think of, when you first hear of race, do you think of quick or do you think of long? Sprinter, right? You think of quick. I tend to think of a race as, it's race, quick, I'm going against somebody and we're going to get this thing done, right? Okay, biblically speaking, we're going to be going through Hebrews 12. I see, very nice. Adam, did you do that? You have some of those verses in front of you. Hebrews 12, 1 through 3, where we're going to be going, if you want to open up there. This passage is talking about a race, about life being like a race, okay? Let's start, though, by first opening up in prayer, and then we're going to start at verse 1. Father, I just thank you for the opportunity that you have given me. Lord, I pray that you would be magnified and glorified in this, in every part of this. Lord, that you would speak to each one of us. Help us to grow and learn, to get to know you and who you really are. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. There's the race, okay? First of all, the first question I had when I first read this is, who's this great cloud of witnesses? Right? Who are these people that he's talking about? Okay? In Hebrews 11, the entire chapter of Hebrews 11 is talking about this great cloud of witnesses. All these people of faith in the Old Testament, Moses, Abraham, Noah, all these people, right? They are setting an example for the people that this writer of Hebrews is writing to, and they're setting an example for us of how to run this race, right? Okay, if you know a little bit, you know Moses, you've heard of him, you've heard of Noah, Abraham, and these guys set some pretty good examples, and they kind of sometimes set some bad examples for us too, right? Okay, so that's the cloud of witnesses that is the example for who he's talking to. And he's saying to them, let us also, like them, let us also lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely. Have you ever experienced the weight of sin in your life? You ever had, I mean, we all do, you guys, that's okay. Sin is like a weight. Have you ever done something that you know you shouldn't have done, and you're just like, who's going to find out? I don't want anybody to know, right? And there's this weight that goes along with it. And sin also is like this clinging thing it does to you. It kind of hangs on you. There's another version of the NIV that says the sin that so easily entangles. It entangles. Have you ever been walking and you walk through a spider web? That freaks me out. Okay? But it's that feeling of it clings to you and I can't get it off. That's what sin does to us, right? And he's calling us here to lay that stuff aside. Get rid of that weight. Get rid of that sin that clings to us. Okay? In order for us to be able to run this race. Okay, so now Here's something else, a couple things. Think about a military guy. And some of these guys, they'll put on a 60, 70, 80 pound pack and they'll run miles, okay? 8 miles you ran, put 70 pounds on you and run 8 miles again, right? Okay? So think of yourself, even, I noticed these backpacks over here. Throw one of them on you and go run them 1 mile. Or even just go run a, anywhere. That's tough. Okay, so now think about running that for a distance and then taking that off and then continue running. Think about the freeing feeling that would be, right? Getting rid of that weight, getting rid of that clinginess. That's what I think he's talking about. Okay, also think about marathon runners. Kurt, what's the longest you ran?
26 miles.
I thought you did a full one, okay? So I bet you, Kurt, you wore extremely light clothing. You probably wore shoes that literally are about, what, 6 ounces?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, these shoes nowadays are crazy light. Why? Because they're getting aside, they're taking off everything that's going to get in the way of them to be able to run 26 miles, right, in a time that they need to, right? Okay, that's what he's talking about here. Just in verse 1, you guys, we're talking about getting rid of that weight, okay? So now what if we just stopped in verse 1 and we said, okay, that's it, that's the lesson, go out there and go, right? You're going, well, I need more than that, right? It's not like we just got to try harder to not sin, bless you. Try harder, don't sin, and just run really hard your life and just do what you're supposed to do. That'd be pretty tough. How long would we last? I wouldn't last very long at all, right? Because it's not about me having enough willpower to run this race, right? Verse 2 clears it up for us a lot. Verse 2, okay? Looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despised the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. You guys, that weight of sin that weighs us down, something has to be done with it. And I can't just merely, unless you take it off and lay it aside myself. I need someone to do it for me. And he's saying here, we need to look to Jesus, the author, the founder, and the perfecter. He has founded our faith, if we have a faith, and he will perfect our faith. He will continue to work in us to continue to get rid of this sin in our lives, right? But initially, you guys, this is understanding that Jesus Christ came and he died on the cross for sinners like me, for sinners like you, right? And you think, well, maybe I'm not that bad, okay? Let's imagine if we had a video here, a big TV, and we decided that we're going to display your life yesterday on the screen. Would that make you feel comfortable? Maybe you think, well, that probably wouldn't bother me. Maybe for a day or two you could control yourself and you could be nice and do good things, right? Okay, what if on this same screen we showed your thoughts? That would freak me out, because I don't think good thoughts all the time. Right? Okay, I don't think I'm the only one in here, right? Jesus came and he died to forgive us so that we don't have to live in those sins anymore, to free us, to take that weight upon himself. You guys, I think that if we would really truly get this, if I would really truly get this, I would have a much better time running this race called life. Okay? There's the initial act of putting my faith and trust in Jesus Christ. He died for me. And I put my faith in him, and I ask him to forgive me, and I say, can you take this weight of sin from me? And he does that. And he takes it, and it's freeing. It's similar to the military guy. If you took his weight and then he continued to run, how freeing that would be to run more without that weight, right? Okay, the problem is that we continue to sin. And we need to continue to ask Jesus, as Christians, as believers, please continue to take this weight from me. I keep falling. Can you take it again? It's clinging to me. Can you get rid of this off of me? Right? So that I can run this race. So that I can do what you want me to do. I want to live my life for you. That's being a Christian. Being a Christian isn't just a name. Being a Christian isn't in what family you grew up in or what church you go to. Being a Christian is a follower of Jesus Christ. He endured the cross with joy, believe it or not. How could he have joy and endure going to the cross? Because he knew what it was accomplishing. He knew it was going to accomplish this salvation and this lifting of weight on the people who would trust in him. Okay? That's what this is about, right? That's what's going to help us in this life. This life is not easy, you guys. I'm 48. You guys are young. You're looking forward, and there's unknowns. I don't like to look backwards, but I look back and I go, man, it's been a road, right? There's been a lot of stuff going on in my life, a lot of pain, a lot of sin, a lot of junk, and so it's going to be hard, but it is so much better. It is so much more worth it when you have Jesus as the one that you're looking to, and who you keep putting the weight on him. He can handle the weight of my sin. He went to the cross for it. Okay, and we keep putting it on him. We keep throwing it on him. Verse 3. Consider him who endured, that him is Jesus. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary and faint-hearted. What are the things in your life, this is just a reflection question, what are the things in your life that make you weary, that wear you down, and make you faint-hearted? Just think for a minute. Now, what are the things that wear you out? Sometimes, you guys, it's your sin. It's my sin that is weighing me down, right? I keep falling back into this sin, okay? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just natural pains that come from life. Sometimes it's maybe someone's died. One of the hardest things in my life was to watch Morgan Rondoni's mom die. That was hard. She was a really good friend. Watching other people hurt themselves, watching other people who are in pain is hard for us too, right? There's a lot of things in this life that wear us down, right? How do we get through those moments? What's he telling us here to do is you look to Jesus. Because why? Because he endured such opposition from sinful people. They were so hostile to him, you guys. Think about it. We say Jesus died on the cross, right? Yeah, but he was tortured before he died. He was tortured, crown of thorns. He was mocked. He was stripped naked. He was slapped, beaten. He had to carry his cross down the streets of Jerusalem to Golgotha, to where he was finally crucified, and there he died. And he rose again, though. Okay? But he did that for us, so that we, in the midst of our trials and our temptations in our life, we can look to him and say, he did it, and he's going to give me the strength to go through this too. I look to him as my example. I look to him to find strength. Not in anything of this world, not in your own willpower to get through something, but you look to him. Okay? That's what life is really about. And so, listen, if you haven't made that decision to follow Jesus, I would encourage you to ask him to forgive you. To say, will you take this weight of sin in my life, and I want to follow you. And it's a lifelong gig. Okay? This isn't I'm going to try this out and see if this works and see if I feel better. Okay? No. This is a lifelong decision that I want to follow Jesus. And I pray that you would do that. And you would follow him. And you will see that life will still be difficult, but you will find joy even in the midst of hard times because you're looking to him. Because he's the one that holds your weight. He's the one that carries you. Okay? So two things I want to take away from this, other than what I've said. I mean, it's the same thing. We look to him to get rid of the sin for us, and we look to him when we are struggling with our sin. Okay? He's the one we look to. Don't forget that. Look to him. Okay? You've got questions on the back of that. I threw those together. What keeps you from keeping your eyes focused on what Jesus has done on your behalf? You can talk about those now, or you can think about it and write them down. But what are the things that keeps you from keeping your eyes focused on Jesus?